Hello everyone, welcome to Texture Myth. In this session, we are going to talk about another very important topic related to GET request with API. So here basically we will be learning about a way through which we can pass the multiple query parameters. Okay, all the process is very simple and straightforward because we have already know how to pass a query parameter, single query parameter, right? So only few changes are needed to make it multi-query parameters, but the important thing is to understand like why really we need to pass these kind of multi-query parameters. Okay, so in this session we are going to discuss that part only, like how to pass multiple query parameter with get request API. And for that, what we will be doing, firstly I'll walk you through the program. Firstly I will walk you through the output and the API that we are going to use in this demo, and then I'll step by step explain you the entire program. Okay, but before we proceed further with this session, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released session first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow it sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic, because for time being we are just mainly focusing on how to use get request with multiple query parameter. But prior to that, you should know what is get request, what is query parameters, how to pass single query parameter, and other stuff that we have already covered regarding the Angular. And for that you can also refer the Texture Myth digital course book, which is freely available in the description box. There you will find thousands of sessions available in both Hindi as well as English language. So without any language barrier you can consume the content, and in case if you have any queries on that, you can simply reach out to me through comment section. Okay, alright, so let's see. Firstly I'll show you the output of the demo. So here you can see, firstly we are getting this heading that is Angular course by Texture Myth. Then we have second heading that says get request with multiple query parameters, and after that we have one horizontal row and we are printing the user list including username and email. Got it? Okay, now let's try to understand why do we really need a multiple query parameters. So for that you can see we are using this data, right, JSON placeholder, and this is a public API, you can also use it. Okay, now here if I want to select the record with only one parameter, let's say ID, so what I can do, I can simply put a question mark over here, and after the question mark I can put the user ID, and in not ID, user ID, it's ID, so ID equal 1, and when I press enter it fetch me the first record, right? Similarly if I want to fetch the fifth ID record, it will provide me the fifth ID record. This is fine, right? But the thing is that in case if I want to fetch, let's say if there are two records with user ID 1, I think in this example we don't have this kind of data, but let's say we have ID 1 record again and its name is Erwin. Just for time being, assume that it is ID 1. Okay, its name is Erwin, but we want to fetch the ID 1 record that has name Lene Graham. Okay, so this is my requirement. I'm not selecting the record now only basis of one record, one parameter. I want to fetch it for multiple parameter, that means ID as well as name. So in that situation, how we can pass multiple parameter? So for that what you just need to do, you can simply go here, put a question mark, put a ID here, then we will use ampersand for multiple parameters, and here I will simply write name equal and then name of the user which you want to select. So I'll just put a Lena Graham, and when I press enter here it will fetch me this record. Okay, don't get confused, for now it is just fetching with this record because we have only one record which satisfy both the condition ID 1 and name Lena Graham. And what is this %20? So it is just a representation of space. Okay, so we are using space, that's why it is showing Lena Graham. Now my question is, let's say if I want to search something that is not applicable, let's say ABC, and press enter, so it will not show me any record. Why? Because this record and this combination is not passed. Okay, so in this type of situation where we want to check the record on the basis of two parameters, we will go with a multi-query parameter. Clear? So I think this part is clear to everyone. Now let's see what all changes we have made in our program to make this work. Although it's quite simple, but still maybe some of you want to know like how it is happening. Okay, so firstly I'll show you the file that is mandatory, and I'm repeating this every time because it is very important. Okay, so firstly you need to import this provide HTTP client, which is very important. If it is not there, it won't allow you to call the APIs. Now after this we have second query, and in second query second file, we are just connecting the comp1 component with app component. So in case if you don't know how to create comp1 component, you just need to write ng for Angular g generate c component and comp1. Now press enter. So once you press enter, it will create the component comp1, which include 4 files: css, html, spec.ts and component.ts. Okay, now to connect this component.ts with the app component, we just need one selector name. Okay, so this is the selector name. This code we have added later. You just need to find the selector name and just go to app.component.html file. Here firstly I'll import my comp1 component. So comp1 component is there and it is imported. Okay, that means now it is connected with my app component. Then I'll go to the app component.html, where I have specified the firstly the heading that shows Angular codes by texture myth, and second heading that shows get request with multiple query parameter, and after that we have used horizontal rows just to separate out these heading with the actual output, and this is the selector which I am using here. So what it means we have connected the comp1 with our application. Okay, now whatever the API related logic we are going to put it is inside this comp1.component.ts. So here you can see we have one user. Okay, then we have constructor, we have HTTP client, HTTP. So what we are going to do, we are going to utilize this HTTP whenever we want to access this HTTP client. Then inside a ng on init method, we are using this .http get, and this is my URL. Okay, so this is the complete URL where I have specified 2 parameters, id1 and name. Okay, then this .subscribe res, whatever response we will get from here will be stored in this .users, and then we are just simply printing that according to the length. So if user length is greater than 0, that means it holds some data, and if it holds some data, then we will simply show iterate one for loop user of users track user ID, and we will print the username and user email, else we will show the user not found. Okay, so I'm assuming that you already know what is ng on init, because this thing we have already covered in detail, and this is very important session of Angular, because there are lots of other hooks that we should know before we move further with the basics of Angular. Okay, so now if I call the program, and you can see it is providing with the Lenigram, because this is the correct data, right? So I hope now it is clear to everyone, like why do we really need multiple query parameters? Because in when you are working for a project in real world scenario, there might be lots of conditions where we have to specify before fetching the data. Okay, because for test purpose we have only 10 records, but in actual scenario there would be thousands of records, right? So in that situation we need to make sure that it is applicable according to the need, and multiple query parameters are passed according to the need. Okay, so what you can do now, like you can do practice on this concept, and in case if there is any confusion, query, or if something you want me to ask, feel free to reach out to me through the comment section. I'd be more than happy to answer all your queries, questions, and we'll make sure that whatever we are learning, we will make the concepts clear together. Okay, because in the upcoming sessions we are going to touch the important topics as well, like APIs, then we will go for AI integration, right? And we will try to build some applications as well. Okay, so yeah, I think that's all for today, and in the next session we will discuss few more things. Meanwhile you can do the practice, and for any queries, any doubt, you can simply reach out to me through comment section. We will answer that question, and then we will move step by step to the next topic from basic to advanced level. Okay, So yeah, that's all for today. See you in the next session. So thank you for watching Tech Share Myth.